I don't think you can stay impartial, whatever the level of involvement you want. If you are a good mentor and if you really care, you can't stay impartial. I don't believe in that. We're not machines, we're human beings, and at least this is my experience. Sometimes it has happened that you are asked to get more involved just because there is a match between what you can offer and what the business needs on a practical operational level. I think every case, it's unique and it's different, individual, and it should be evaluated on a case-by-case basis. I don't think there are set rules to apply. Hopefully, if you really found a good mentor, a good advisor, you should really be able to be in touch for a long time. Nothing better, really, because they can really see the business grow, see the business develop, and they will have the knowledge, they will have the experience of what you've gone through to get to that stage. So you don't have to re-explain, you don't need to reinvent the wheel with a new person all the time. But of course, relationships start and finish, so you can't have control over that. When you find an advisor and a mentor, you really need to find someone that is able to listen, not someone with an overly developed ego or a protagonism. Because basically they will not have the experience, the hands-on experience in the business. They will need to form that kind of knowledge in different ways, which is usually through you, the entrepreneur, through your experience. And if they don't listen, there's very little that they can offer, I think. Sometimes business mentors are very, can help with, as I was saying, with systems, with something very organizational. But then you might, if you are a hairdresser, you might find that a retired hairdresser which has got just a specific product knowledge, it's someone you need to consult as well. So no, again, we go back to the network. Although you might have just 1-2 people that know fully what your business is about as a complete entity, and that can advise you on the global structure, on how really to make the most of it. I think that specific subjects might have different sources for information and mentoring. There are plenty of retired business people, very experienced, that want to pass that knowledge on, and they're usually some of the best because they're wise, they're calm, they usually can offer a lot of moral support as well, and they don't necessarily want any exchange in terms of money or equity or anything like that. I think that there is much more altruism in this area than it's probably thought of. I think that government endorsement, of course, should happen and should really be there. And if they can facilitate it, even better. I think that some sort of resources, probably also funding, would be very beneficial, especially if there are specific advice or advisor that you want to get involved in your business and they cost money. And if there could be some sort of facilitation with through funding or grants, that would be fantastic. But I'm not sure that that's what the government has got in mind. It might be more on a volunteer basis, yeah. I think collaboration is everything. And this has been a lesson I've learned very, very early on in my career. Collaboration, it's at the basis, is the fabric on which everything grows on. The government is part of what we do in business. It's there. We pay taxes. They try to facilitate business. They should be part of the dialogue, of the conversation. Personally, with the experience I have of the small businesses I looked after, I don't think that formal schemes are very flexible or are good for that kind of entity. When you, especially if you're a startup, but even if you're a grow-up, just the next phase, I think you need more flexibility than being formally or rigidly taken through a predicament, a staged approach, and which is, I think, was a bit some of the fault of the Business Link organization as it was structured before. They were kind of treating everybody through the same system, the same pace. Yeah, I've always looked for businesses that need help to grow, and this is how I classify what I do. I think it's very difficult the other way around, because of course it's more of a cold approach from yourself, going to the business and say, hey guys, would you like to have some help growing this business? Because the answer to that is that yes, thank you, but who are you? What have you done to to propose that? So trust is very, very important, and I find that again through building your network and building the relationships, when potential customers, potential mentorees start to trust you, then that is a proposition that can be viable. But if there is no trust and it's just a cold approach, I don't think it works.